Welcome everyone. Thank you so much for watching this video dedicated to teaching you how to install and configure Dynamics 365 Copilot with Dynamics 365 Business Central. My name is Craig Kreskis. I'm a cloud solution architect here at Microsoft in the US subsidiary. And in this video, I'm going to guide you through the process by first enabling the feature inside of Business Central. Then we'll go ahead and add a brand new item into inventory by scanning a photo or uploading a photograph. We'll invoke and leverage Copilot to create marketing text. And then I'll show you how to do the same steps only using an existing item inside your inventory. And then I'll wrap up with any of the additional resources I think would be beneficial for your education. So let's begin first by enabling this feature inside of the feature management within Business Central. Open up Business Central, and I typically will go up to the top right. I'll hit the search bar, and then I'll type in feature or feature management. Go ahead and select feature management. And I've highlighted the row specific to your attention. That's the preview feature that says create AI-powered product descriptions with Copilot. Now you'll notice on the right side of that row, this time when I created this tenant, this feature was already enabled. So just make sure, depending on your version, you want to make sure that this is enabled, and I have it enabled for all users. If you want to learn more, you can click on the link. This will open up the documents entry on docs.microsoft.com. So that's how you can get started quickly by just turning on the feature. Again, make sure it's enabled for all users or the users that want to test that feature. Let's begin now in the demo where we're going to go ahead and add a new item into inventory. I'm on the home page, the role-based home page, and I'll select items. Now you'll notice in this release or in this version, right next to the new and the ribbon is an option to import or go new from picture. So I can drag or drop or just go and browse out to my laptop where I've got under downloads my photographs, getting any JPEG or PNG file. And now notice what happens is Business Central has the capability of recognizing that scanned image and automatically associates it to a category. And with this category obviously comes some setup and attributes that are default. So you can see here based on that picture, again, table, it applies it to this item template. And then more importantly are the attributes. Now I have attributes here by default: color, depth, height, and material. And then you could enter as many attributes as you want, up to 15. You can see here I've added material legs, maybe the surface. Again, as much as you can add in terms of attributes, you're providing the engine, you're providing Copilot with more information to analyze and provide better results. Once I select OK, that commits the image, or I should say the item, to the Business Central database. And then as you see, it opens in the item card. Now I want to update the description, which came across based upon the saved file. So I can just double click in the description and edit that. And now I've got an image ready to go. So the second step here is to invoke or to use Copilot to help create text. Now this text is going to be different than the description field, right? This is going to be marketing text, and for any registered item inside of Business Central, we can write marketing text about that item. Now think about it from the point of view of somebody who's adding this inventory item, perhaps the challenge around what is it we want to say about this item. We're going to use this information on, say, for example, a shopping cart. So again, Business Central has this capability built in to allow me to create with Copilot. So it takes the thinking out of the need for me to create that creative text. Now, since I'm the first time in this particular tenant, I am prompted with a warning and make sure I understand the preview terms. This is also most likely for an administrative user, and they will control whether or not this feature is available. If they're not an admin, this screen will be displayed slightly differently, and it'll guide the user to contact the admin into turning it on. I'll hit close. And now you can see the marketing text, which is much different than the description, is a more rich and descriptive text. You'll see here on the right corner here on the fact box, it says discover your own Barcelona with the Barcelona coffee table. And again, this purpose is for adding marketing and promotional content, also known as copy. So if I had integration to a web shop, for example, if this tenant was set up to connect to Shopify, there's a button with that integration that would allow me to send this automatically over to that shopping cart. Now, before I do that, I might want to edit the text. So Copilot is designed to save time and having to write up creative and engaging text that reflects the brand and it's consistent across the product lines. So you'll see here the attributes, everything that I added are included in the guide and in the description. As you can see down below here, the height and the width and any other details I may have added into the attributes. Now I can control the format and length. Just to give you an example, a tagline is really just a catchy phrase or a catchy tagline. Paragraph will provide several sentences or complete sentences. As you can see in my screen, we have both tagline and paragraph. And then bullet, or I should say brief, is basically provides an introductory sentence, very similar to just the tagline, and it'll provide a bulleted list of key points of interest below. So I'm going to keep this at tagline and paragraph. This has a rich editor built into, so I can highlight Barcelona table, I can use the bold, I can return and add all of the font and formatting that I might. And there are two additional settings here, two more settings available. So you can focus on both the quality and a tone of voice. In the quality, you'll use this option to choose from a list of predefined qualities that you might want to emphasize in the text. Remember, this doesn't directly correlate to the item attributes, but it's more about how you see these items and brand. So whether it's innovation or if it's focused on elegance, reliability, or speed. I'll choose one, so I'll choose elegance, and that's going to help define some of the text in my marketing text. Think of the tone of voice as somewhat of a gradient, starting from formal, which is most likely going to be with some of our items in inventory, to a less formal, more creative ideas. So you'll use this option to influence what type of words, phrases, and punctuation that are used to engage the target audience. Well, I'll go ahead and choose one from the list. I'll choose creative. And now I have a couple of options. I'm just going to hit create in this video, but if you want to explore this, maybe I like the current copy. On the right side, there's a drop down where you can do create draft and append. What that would do, it would take the new changes I have here with both my quality and my tone of voice, and it would append to the existing paragraph. I'm just going to go ahead and select create, and you could see here now it regenerated based on those options that I made. Now again, this is just getting started. As you can see here, right, the suggested text is AI generated. It's up to you as the humans to edit, manually edit, format, and then regenerate the text as needed. We'll go ahead and select OK. And now you can see I've got my marketing text built into that. So again, really depending on what I want to do next in that step, I'm going to take that copy and use it for promotional copy, either on a web shop or some other area where I'm promoting those products and services. I want to show you how to take an existing item that you already have. So instead of scanning the document, or an image, I should say, you can hit close. Let's just open up Athens desk. Same thing here. I'm going to go into item, and you can update the attributes for this particular item. So I'll show you where that is. And again, you've got certifications, color, depth, height, all the information that you can possibly use to allow this AI system to generate text for you. Then over in the fact box, I'll select Create with Copilot, and you'll see here, bring the Athens of Office desks to your workspace. I'm going to leave that as is. I think you get the idea on how to edit that within the Copilot feature inside of the inventory items. Just some additional resources. These are areas that I found helpful for my education and my learning. There's a Getting Started document. So if you want to understand on how to get started with this, and if you scroll down the middle of the page, what I wanted to bring your attention to is the version number and part of this preview in order to experience Copilot. So you could see that right here in the center of your page. And then there is some additional information on how to configure Copilot within Business Central. And there's also an FAQ to help guide you through some questions that may come up as you're exploring. So I want, again, this video was designed just to get you started. You know, marketing text is just the beginning. So we're excited about the possibilities, getting you to think as a partner beyond just chatbots. So in this demo, again, we talked about how to enable the feature. We added a new item by importing a photograph or a picture or an image. We invoked Copilot, we edited an existing, and then there were some resources for you to get started. Thank you so much for the investment in this video. I provided a link in the bottom right corner for any upcoming events here in the US. And thank you so much again for your time, and I look forward to seeing you on a video real soon.